Welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily 2-card reading for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. I have been doing these 2-card readings now for weeks and weeks, and I've been working with a different deck each week. And this week I was really guided to work with the Oracle of the Seven Energies, which is a deck that I've had, but I haven't ever opened, hadn't dived into it. And I am so grateful to get this opportunity to do this during these readings, because I'm discovering this is a lovely deck by Colette Baron Reid. I do believe that liminal spaces are mystical transition spaces, kind of like doorways or gateways or pathways, like the in-betweens, where we're really open to new information coming at us. And I think Oracle cards are a way for that divine message to get to us. Colette says something beautiful in her guidebook about the word oracle, which she says comes from the Latin orare, which means to speak or to impart wisdom, which is actually exactly what I think these cards do for us. And I've found such wisdom in them and guidance over the years. That's one of the reasons I wanted to have this channel, so I could help spread that to other people so they can see these messages that can come through these cards. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. So I do a daily 2-card reading where I look at the energy of the day, which is the energy, the force, basically, that's directed at us from the universe for the day. And then the focus, which is then the intention, the effort, or the response that we put into that energy. So I always open a circle of light and love and protection around myself and anyone who will watch this reading, no matter when it is. I call in my divine guides and guardians. I call in the guides and guardians of the collective, and I call in the guides and guardians of anyone who will watch this reading, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, or next year. I truly believe that no matter when you come to this reading, you will find something in it for you. There's some message intended for you. Now, this deck, Colette works with like the 7 energies, but 7 as being a lucky number, a very mystical number, a number that shows up multiple times in different cultures throughout the world. She also ties it to the 7 main chakras in our body, as well as the 7 colors of the rainbow spectrum. And so the energy she deals with in these cards are earth, water, fire, love, sound, and light when thought. So it's been beautiful. So let us look at the energy for today. Okay. And then I try to do this like in the camera so you can see that I'm not stacking the deck or anything. Focus. I will continue to read from these intuitively, and then I will look at the guidebook as well, because she has gorgeous, gorgeous insight and knowledge in her decks. So our energy for the day is a higher view. Before I started these readings with you guys, I did open this deck and I looked at every card one time, and this one absolutely caught my attention. It is gorgeous. Here we have a female form. I'm not sure that she's a goddess energy. You could say that if you want, but on the back of an owl, a mystical owl, who are messengers, who bring us knowledge and wisdom, but also maybe a notion that change is coming. But they also sit on power poles and they watch and they watch and they watch. They definitely have a higher view, which is what this card is about. So I think there's really the energy that's coming at us is some gorgeous divine perspective that we might not have been aware of before. So I think it's really important that we're aware of this and we be open to it. Let's see what she says in the book about this reading. And just to be clear here, this is 41 and it's in the light category. And I'm not sure if I had actually read what she writes for light, so I'd like to do that now. Light, it says intuition, vision, imagination, prescience, knowing, perception, and mental states. So a higher view. The key concepts are seeing from a higher perspective, conscious neutrality, letting go of judgment and assumptions, non-attachment, the ability to remain unbiased. These are difficult things. Like, it's hard, you know. We all have human bias. everybody's is a little bit different because we all have different experiences. Anyways, sometimes our lives are suction cupped to the ends of our noses and we can't see beyond ourselves. This happens to everyone once in a while. We fall into an automatic response to life and react from a learned, conditioned place rather than one of awareness. Being in reactivity keeps us repeating old patterns. The avoidance of our triggers could keep us in our comfort zone, policing our attempts at new things. The way to be successful in your endeavor to connect with others is to step out of your sticky perception of the world. Imagine yourself sitting on the back of a bird 1,000 feet above your life. Wouldn't your perspective change? From a higher point of view, you can see for miles. You can let go of naming and blaming the obstacles in your way and instead easily discover a path to a more beautiful and compelling vista. Wow. Well, that's gorgeous. Yep. Thank you, Colette. That is gorgeous. So we know that we are capable of a higher view. And if we limit ourselves in any way, it's by not allowing ourselves to take that higher view, to be stuck in our own perceptions. And those things can limit us. It's hard to let those things go, but that's the work we need to do. So let's see what our focus is for the day. Feeling the world. Gosh, this is a gorgeous card. We have another beautiful female figure here, and in her hands, she is holding our earth, you know, our beautiful planet that we've been so lucky to be given life on. And there is rays of light shooting out behind. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the sun, potentially, or maybe it's a different kind of light, but it's glowing and it is beautiful. So feeling the world. So these cards seem to go very well together. This is us at a close perspective, just looking at the world. But it's really not close, because if you think about it, you're seeing the whole globe here. That's a perspective that we don't get. I mean, that's a perspective that even an owl doesn't really get. Maybe the moon, maybe the sun. So I think we need to be open to changing our perspective. And if we change our perspective, then we're going to see things in such a different, beautiful way for us. So let's look at this card. 13 falls here in the water category. And I don't actually know if I read that either. So let me find. The energy of water, she says, is connection, sexuality, intimacy, birthing, desire, pleasure, feelings, and fluidity. And then for the card, feeling the world, the key concepts are sensitivity to the feelings of others, awareness of the whole world, and a broader perception, empathy, overload, and overwhelm. Empathy reminds you that you are not alone. It is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of a larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you're tuned into. You might find it's not even yours. If you're feeling off or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. In such an instance, the connection is not good for you, no matter how charismatic that person is or how attracted to them you feel. Do not mistake codependency for closeness or allow your boundaries to become too porous. Trust your instincts and take care of you. Practice saying no. Avoid the temptation to turn off and go numb. Instead, be present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. So be present. So we know that we've all been influenced by things in our life, by people in our life, by actions in our lives. Sometimes those things are good for us. Sometimes they're not. I do think they all teach us things, and that is important. But we need to be aware of our perspective. And I think that if you're conscious of your perspective, even stepping back just a little bit, or even a little bit further, or a little bit further, we see this gorgeous higher perspective around us. That it's not just us and the fact that my package didn't come on the day it was supposed to come. I mean, there are so many more things in life that are important. And maybe I wasn't supposed to get my package that day. You know, it's hard to think about things like that, but maybe that's what that higher perspective is trying to tell us. So this is a gorgeous reading. I'm excited to see what this day unfolds for us, because I feel like there is a deep message here for us, a very deep message. If we're aware that we need to focus on a higher perspective. I'm excited, and I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for what this day has in store for me. I hope you all do as well. I hope you found this reading helpful or connected with it in some way. I would love to hear any thoughts you have on the reading or on the deck of cards. We've almost come to our week's end with this deck. I can't believe it. It's just been going so quickly, and I've been enjoying learning this deck so much. I hope you have as well. If anybody has any insight on this deck, I would sure love to hear what you have to say about it. I would love any likes, any shares. Please subscribe if you're finding these readings helpful. I'm hoping to grow this channel so I can help spread this message so more people can see the beauty of the message in Oracle cards. Thank you so much. My name is Stacy. Thank you for visiting Simply Liminal with me.